welcome to the show. It is the final show of 2025, and what an explosive way to come on today after what went down last night. No Scalzo or Strophy today. Kyle, do you sometimes think like, all right, around the holidays you realize who's got the true dedication? Who's really dug in on Sunday Karma?
Yeah, I guess.
Or no, you weren't wanting to hate on Scalzo and Strophy. I was setting you up to hate on them.
No, I'm not. Stroph was here last week. You're here this week. You know what I'm saying? I'm out next week. I'll be flying back in.
Oh, yeah. Worldwide Wallace.
Not even. My flight don't get into a little
Worldwide? Where are you flying?
I'm flying down to Florida for a wedding.
What international? Okay.
No, we're going to Florida. Florida. Go see, what do they call them? Florida Man.
Yes.
Hopefully I'm running into them.
All right. Did last night leave you happy or sad?
What do you think?
Well, I mean, there was a Packers game and there was a Bucs game. And I think there's arguments to be made on how much each game meant to each team and what each game showed you, right? I think there's a really good argument to be made that the Packers defensively did not bring a lot to the game last night. Or you could argue that that is what the Packers defense is. I don't know. To me, it felt like the Packers knew they were in the playoffs. And defensively...
Oh, you think Jordan Love all of a sudden can't play?
Well, forget about it. I mean, the Packers have two starting quarterbacks.
Oh, wow. You think Malik's going to start, like, how long? You think get a chance to start or going to start?
Not for the Packers. Malik's going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, just think the Titans had him, Derrick Henry, and they had A.J. Brown along with Mike Vrabel.
I'm saying Malik Willis, you know, we've seen it with the Darnolds and the Geno Smiths of the world, right? Like, people don't always get it right away, and it may not happen in their first spot because of whether it's just time or the coordinators or whatever. But did you see how accurate he was? I mean, he was throwing the ball 20 yards plus.
Yeah, he was
like
good.
His completions, like sometimes you'd be like, all right, that guy's 5 for 5 for 128 yards, but he's thrown some screen passes that have been broken. Like Malik Willis, I mean, I know he won a bunch of games last year, but I don't know that I ever saw him throw.
He won 2. And then he came back in Jacksonville for us.
Yeah, I don't know that I ever saw him throw the ball that consistently downfield, that accurately, like what we saw last night in a cold weather situation.
No, we needed him to throw the ball because we got down so quickly, so early in that game. I mean, you're down, what, at a certain point, 21-7, something along the line.
Well, I mean, you had what did you think about going for it at your own 30?
It was,
and they held him to a field goal, so it didn't end up killing him.
Yeah, but it was risky business, and it helped. And then I think the drive after that is when they fumbled.
Yeah.
So it things just started to unravel pretty quickly. You find yourself in a hole.
But did you liked it, the idea of going for it? And that's today's NFL. The analytics usually favor it.
I think Matt LaFleur understood that in his head they had already made the playoffs and they were playing with house money, which I disagree with. In the fact that they didn't control their own destiny with winning the NFC North. And so if anything, hey, I mean, let's go for it here.
Are you saying that like you felt like you still don't buy the Bears? So last night to you mattered more because if you won, it continued to put pressure on the Bears?
Yeah, I would say for the Packers, winning the NFC North was more than just winning the NFC North. It was more so being able to play at home. We have displayed the last couple of years not having a home playoff game makes it harder to get to a Super Bowl. And if the goal is to get to the Super Bowl, especially without Micah Parsons,
I mean,
you want to try to have a home game.
You say that, but
what? The Packers, I've seen the Packers.
No, it's been proven that it's hard when you have road games or home games.
I know, but I'm saying for Green Bay, I would like us to take a little different route than what we have the last couple of years trying to get to the play. I understand Aaron Rodgers losing at home against the 49ers. That still stings for a lot of us Packers fans.
And the Buccaneers, even though there was no home crowd. So that was a little
that
weird.
Hurt. Yeah, that definitely hurt with not having a home crowd. But overall, just thinking about this team specifically has already had the 7 seed back-to-back seasons. You had the magical play in Dallas where the team was amazing. Then you went on the road. You lost San Francisco, and then last year you fought in a close game against the Eagles on the road. I would say let's try something different this time around and winning the NFC North again. We did not control our own destiny, And I think that was what went into that play call of, well, we could be aggressive because we're in the playoffs and we're really just playing to try to win the NFC North. And this is how you go and win the NFC North is by executing these plays, especially, I guess with the backup quarterback taking chances. So I don't believe he was playing
Ben
conservative.
Brust texts in on the Carbless Talking text line where Liss is more. Going for it was him saying he couldn't stop Derrick Henry. Like, they knew they weren't going to stop him, so we're going to need to score. But,
yeah, I mean...
what do you think that was not being able to stop Derrick Henry?
I think that was the fact that Derrick Henry is 6'3", 6'4", 240-pound running back, but the Green Bay Packers just don't have the interior lineman to be able to stop that. That's a big offensive line.
You're saying, hey, we could stop Jahmyr Gibbs better than anybody because we're fast.
Yeah,
our linebackers are fast and can run with people, but we don't have the physicality.
Derrick Henry is north and south. He ain't east and west. If he's going east or west because he bounced it out and then that big old body just took off and accelerated. He is north and south.
You know who stopped Jim? You know who was able to stop Derrick Henry?
Who was that?
John Harbaugh.
Oh, okay. Well,
throughout this year?
Last week when he didn't play him at all
in the fourth quarter. I mean, they're up 10 points and they're not playing him?
Yeah, which is absolutely ridiculous to eat away the clock. But no, Derrick Henry going north and south. The Green Bay Packers don't have an interior lineman. We understood to start this season.
But do you think that, so if
yes.
the Packers, so you think if the Packers played the Ravens again and the game mattered, you think he'd just, he couldn't do that in a game that mattered, could he?
The game did matter. Craig, the fact that you got to remember.
So you think the defense,
Jordan Riley might have been your best defensive tackle yesterday. He went down with an Achilles injury.
So you're saying the Packers D was playing like it was a real game and they just got chewed?
I say the Packers had something to play for. Carrington Valentine was, I don't know if he ever knew how to tackle the way he was tackling that game.
But don't you think that's a preparation and intensity thing? Or you think that's... Because if you're saying that's okay, then if you're saying that, then let's just call the Packers what they looked like last night, which is a version of the 2023 Philadelphia Eagles, which down the stretch of the season literally just gave up on playing defense and didn't tackle.
I don't think it was even giving up. It was simply they got out physical. Their front seven is not good. And when I say front seven, their D lineman is not good. When you're missing Devontae Wyatt, you don't have Michael Parsons on that D line. You remember to start the season, the key thing, I understand that we got the bodies now, but when you had Kenny Clark, who was an aging Kenny Clark, and then you take him out the equation, you add in Michael Parsons, you already knew that was going to limit the interior defensive line. Now you take away Kenny Clark, you take away a Devontae Wyatt, you take away, again, a guy, Jordan Riley, who was just another body in there that he was trying to be more serviceable than anybody else. And you don't have anything. And yesterday, they ran right up the middle. Your inside linebackers, they're athletic, they're fast, but they ain't they ain't plugging the hole, meeting people in the hole like that. And they were not meeting Derrick Henry at all in the hole yesterday. That was a physical football
That's
team.
Wild, though, because to me, I feel like the NFL now, if you know someone's running,
you could just load. They tried to load the box, Craig, and they couldn't do anything. On 3rd and 4, they handed the ball off, and they still couldn't do anything about it.
I know. Even at the end of the half, at the end of the first half, there was that situation where it's like, all right.
And they ran the ball.
Teams, they have maybe one timeout.
They had 3, and they used all 3 of them to the perfection.
I'm saying the Ravens at the weigh-in, they ran that little pitch to the right to Henry that was pretty much a handoff.
We could not stop the run. If the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs meet any type of stud running back, CMC, I'm not sure between the tackles, I know he's very athletic, but if we had to play Saquon Barkley with this defensive line, he going to run all over us just like
the Eagles' offensive line has not been healthy this year.
But Saquon Barkley is Saquon Barkley. If anything, the Packers need to play a dual backfield with some above average guys. Give me Chicago. They may run hard, but they ain't special, Craig. It's a difference between
he's a big physical.
He is a physical back, but there's a difference between being special and a physical back. All right, Monangai, he may end up playing in the NFL for 6 seasons, but I don't know if he's going to be a stud like Derrick. Derrick Henry is one of the all-time leading running backs of all time.
But isn't it more about the offensive line? Isn't it more about the offensive line than it is about
the last time? The Ravens haven't just been some juggernaut running the football this season.
No,
they have not been. And as a matter of fact, Lamar Jackson has been extremely limited with injuries throughout this year. So this offensive line that you're talking about has not been dominant throughout this season. No, it's just.
But the Bears are the most physical running team left. The Eagles this year, I can't say are.
I am with this defensive line. You can't just play team defense on the defensive line. against a dude like Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry is a dude. He a grown-ass man. Him, Saquon, them the dudes, I'm scared of them. Listen, we play the Eagles in the playoffs. We cooked. Everybody else, I think this defense can recover. Yesterday was a pathetic performance by the defense in every which way. I mean,
you're saying the Eagles, but like,
listen,
by the way, Carolina ran for more yards than them this year at the playoff teams. The Rams did. The Bears did.
I'm not afraid of Kyron going north and south. Kyron's good. I'm not afraid of him going north and south. Rico, he went north. He a good back. He went north and south on us. I'm afraid of anybody that can go north and south and can lower their pass like that. And I'm telling you, Saquon's the only person comparable to Derrick Henry when it comes to being a stud running back. So I don't.
Yeah, but the Bears have two guys who can run between the tackles.
No, and we've seen what the Packers been able to do. They weren't the issue last week, and they weren't the issue 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I'm talking about the Packers.
But that's why I'm saying I think when the Packers are focused, like I think last night.
You think was a lack of focus?
Yes, I think. I agree. There's a lack of talent compared to a healthy version of this defense. So I don't think this is all of a sudden the top 3 defense that, I mean, we were talking about this defense, right, as the top 3 or top 5 defense with Micah Parsons and everybody healthy.
Yeah, when more bodies were healthy, yes. When you lose your best 2 defensive linemen,
now you're talking about this maybe being a top half. You have to at least be a top half defense to win a playoff game.
Can I just let you know that they have to play great team defense to compete in these games, and they've shown the ability the previous year to do that. They showed it against the Bears up until the last 2 minutes of the game, or I should say 2.5 minutes of the game. They've been able to play great team defense. But yesterday what you saw was an absolute collapse by this defense, and it was putrid. It was awful. It was bad. And the Packers are not winning a Super Bowl. We already knew that when Micah went down. But with Devontae Wyatt and Micah out, this defense does not have it. Rashawn Gary had 2 games to show.
But right now,
the season's over. Yes.
If right now the way this plays out, assuming things stay the same, and I know they can change because the Bears play the 49ers tonight, but are you saying you don't think the Packers can go into Soldier Field and win a playoff game?
Do I think? Yeah, I think the Packers can go into Soldier Field and win a playoff game.
I knew you'd say that, and that is the matchup. That is the matchup right now.
The matchup as of right now.
Right. I'm saying the Packers, the Bears have to beat the 49ers, which is a big if.
Just because I say the season's over doesn't mean the Packers can't win a playoff game. I'm not saying they can't.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm saying they're not winning a Super Bowl. They're not. This team is not going to a Super Bowl. It's not happening. They're not going to go on the road and win 3 games. It's not.
Don't be spoiled like that. Don't be spoiled like that.
Craig, I ain't seen. Craig, you were in your what?
You 40? Are so spoiled.
Wait, you were in your 30s the last time the Packers won a Super Bowl. What do you mean spoiled?
You are so spoiled.
I'm not spoiled.
Yes, you are.
You
are so spoiled.
Oh, stop
All
it.
your teams go to the playoffs every year, and you are so spoiled.
Because I said we're not winning a Super Bowl?
No, because you said the season is over.
Oh, the season's over because we're not winning a Super Bowl.
No, come on now. That is spoiled, rotten crap.
You've been hanging out with Chicago folks
No,
too long.
that is spoiled
you happy
stuff.
Just going to the playoffs.
No, that is spoiled stuff.
We're in it. We're in it to win it.
You're chewy then. Okay, then you're chewy. Every season, if you don't win a Super Bowl, then it's a waste of a season.
4 weeks ago, before they played Denver, were the Packers not a team in the NFC, in the NFL, that was seen as one of the teams that could win a Super Bowl?
If they win that game, they could be seen as the 1 seed, not in the NFC, but in the entire NFL.
Exactly. So expectations. So that's why I'm upset about.
And you were there. You were there when it all fell apart. When Micah Parsons got hurt.
I was there.
All of it went down. You were sitting there in the stands. Wearing
a Broncos Jordan Turner jersey. Hoodie.
Wearing a Jordan jersey. We'll just say a Jordan jersey.
But yeah, that was.
You were there when it all went down. But to say this team can win a playoff game, but their season's over, is insanity.
Craig, they can't go to the Super Bowl. I'm not. So when I say season's over, all right?
Who in the NFC is so special? So you're saying they can beat?
We're not beating the Rams.
You're saying
I don't think the Seattle's defense is entirely too physical. I don't think the Green Bay Packers are going to be able to beat Seattle. I do not believe at this time the Packers will beat the Eagles as well. Those are 3 teams right there that the Packers ain't beating. They're not beating them. And I don't know what to see. I don't know what to make of the 49ers.
Can they beat the 49ers? Absolutely, they can beat the 49ers.
A phenomenal season this year. Can they beat the 49ers? Maybe. But they ain't beating the Eagles. They ain't beating the Rams.
They can beat the Panthers or the Buccaneers. I know they lost to the Panthers the last time. We ain't playing the Panthers
or the Buccaneers, Craig.
How do you know?
We're not going to get the 5 seed.
How do you know?
We're not. Unless somehow we get to the NFC Championship and somehow one of them scrub teams get to that.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know this year in the NFL.
Craig.
And there's no team that... Like, are you saying Sam Darnold can't throw 4 interceptions in a game?
We've
seen it multiple times this year.
Season is over. We're not going to the Super Bowl. I'm here to win the Super Bowl. 4 weeks ago, I'm excited. I'm thinking about
bandwagon
Wallace.
Thinking
about Santa Clara. I'm excited. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can get a dream Super Bowl. Broncos versus Packers. That'd be amazing. Nope, gone.
Bandwagon Kyle.
Ain't no bandwagon over here. I'm a realist.
So is the Bucs season over?
They're not winning the championship.
So is the Bucs season over if they're not winning a championship?
No, it's not over. I didn't have an expectation of them winning a championship.
So the season's not over. All right.
No, the season's not over for them.
We will dig deeper into the mind of Kyle Wallace. If somehow the Packers season is over when the Packers are expected by Kyle to win a playoff game, and the Bucs right now have a 0.1%, that is 1 in 1,000, to finish in the top 6 of the East. That is the current odds, 1 in 1,000 to finish in the top 6 of the East, but the Bucs season is not over. We will understand the logic of Kyle Wallace as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. On this show, it's always football season.
So now Jeff Hafley's going to have to get more creative. Everybody will have to bow up and do things. And the main guy is Jordan Love.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
This went from a defensive-led team to now Jordan Love. Put him on your back. You're going to have to get the cape out.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized Cash Rewards or unlimited Cash Rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Rights reserved.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 41. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWspinecenter.com. That's OAWspinecenter.com.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is kicking off their first tournament of the season with $1,000 in cash prizes. This is Gary Ellerson, inviting you to team up for a two-man scramble at Paynes Valley. Play it on their spacious, state-of-the-art golf simulators. Sign up now at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. Just $120 per team, and you must finish your round by December 31st. This is their first of many winter tournaments. Keep an eye on their website. Take on Paynes Valley starts today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's cold here in Milwaukee, and if you've been thinking about new windows, it's good you waited, because during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. On windows that stop the cold wintry drafts, seal out moisture, and so energy efficient, you'll save money on your utility bills. Installed in 1 day. Lifetime warranty and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. WindowNation.com to get started.
We don't just cover the green and gold. We cover the green and gold. Your home for Green Bay football talk on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hang all the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
And as we trim the tree.
Is this Chris Brown? This Chris Brown from the greatest Christmas movie of all time this Christmas?
Wow, look at you.
Come on now. You don't think I saw this in the theater?
The whole theater?
I saw this in the theater.
Wow, what made you go? Who's you talking to? Who you bring to that movie?
Kelly.
Oh, wow. She wanted to go see Chris Brown.
It wasn't about Chris Brown. It was just about, we used to go to I think we were living in Cleveland. Do you know what year this came out?
This movie?
Yeah.
This movie came out, I feel like
07?
You were living in Cleveland in 07?
Was that when it was?
I felt like it was after that. I feel like it was more like 9 or 10.
Let's see.
I don't think I was in high school, but I couldn't tell you.
Let's go.
Couldn't tell you.
Let's see. 2007.
Wow.
Come on, Kyle.
That's
How many
impressive.
white people that you know
I know, 0.
have seen it in the theater and can tell you the year?
I didn't see it in the theater.
I saw it, and the reason, we used to go to the Magic Johnson cinemas.
Does that still exist?
I don't know. And I don't think so. I think they must have sold, Magic must have sold.
Magic got everything.
But in Cleveland, he had, like, in a lot of the bigger cities, he owned movie theaters in the inner city. And we would go see, like, when there were, like, black movies that we wanted to see, we would go to the Magic Johnson cinemas.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing this Christmas in the theater.
Oh, well, there it is. There it is.
You go.
I did not watch it this holiday season.
Chris Brown trying to be a singer.
I did not watch this holiday season. You know what I
Wait,
did
but you know that? Have you ever watched the movie?
I have seen.
Like, it's Chris Brown trying to be a singer. Like, he wants to be a singer.
It's a long time ago. But I didn't watch my my marathon this year. I forgot of you shoot your eye out, kid.
Christmas Story?
Yeah, I didn't even get the chance to watch it this year. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
It's too busy.
I ended up watching some Disney Christmas stuff. That was most of the Christmas stuff I watched.
Disney? I don't what.
Like, there's like these little Mickeys, Once Upon a Christmas.
Mickey?
And
what you doing watching Mickey? You ain't got no Mickey age children?
Yeah.
Mickey?
Any age is a Mickey age child.
Oh, so y'all just like nostalgia over
Yeah.
household.
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own. I'm not watching Mickey.
I mean, you're mad. You're mad when kids are out at 1:30. I hear you in the show open, and then you're mad when they're watching Mickey Mouse. You are a judgmental guy.
I know. Well, I just want to make sure, you doing the right thing over there. I don't want nobody out at 1:30. I want your daughter out at 1:30.
What if they're out at 1:30 watching Mickey stuff?
I mean, that's, hey, you've done a good job raising a kid. I have none.
So I was rather appalled by what I heard from you last segment.
Oh, gosh. What did I say now?
Your idea that the Green Bay Packers season is over when we have seen, like, if you're going to the playoffs, and let's say you're going to the playoffs and Jordan Love is out for the playoffs and you have no backup quarterback, then I'll give that to you. Be like, all right, season's over. You're going to the playoffs. Jordan Love should be fine. And you actually now have seen you have a proven backup quarterback. Like, how are you going to say, and there's no dominant team in the NFC, not even close, right? I haven't seen a dominant team in the NFC.
Craig, I'm sorry. Before you keep going, what is the old saying that they say about
defense wins championships?
Okay, and last year the Philadelphia Eagles defense did what? They were able to get home with 4. So the Green Bay Packers, they don't have the ability to do that. And in a big game, the Packers, I'm not going to lie, last year against the Eagles, the defense was not the problem. It was the offense.
Exactly.
That was the problem. But I do not believe that this defense can put together 4 performances to win a Super Bowl and 3 performances to get to a Super Bowl. I just don't see it happening.
So you're saying if they get to the NFC Championship, the season's over?
What I'm saying, yes, this is about winning a Super Bowl. I don't care that guys got hurt. I mean, we had expectations. We got to find a way. And we thought during the Bears game, we thought, okay, well, this defense stepped up. They played well. Okay, maybe there's a shot.
Well, let me look at this. I'm just looking.
Ain't going to happen. You got to have right now, this is not a top 15 defense or a top 10 defense. They're not playing that way.
I'm looking before the year. You predicted the Packers to go 17-0.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
17-0. They first two games was looking good, looking real good. Hell, a couple weeks ago, Craig, we were at least saying that this team is trending in the right direction after they beat up on the Lions.
I predicted the Packers would win 8 games. They have won 9.
You predicted them to win 8 games.
Yeah, now,
you got lucky with that.
Now, by the way, because that was before Micah.
Even with Micah,
I'm saying
even without Micah, I think this is a different.
Now that we look at this team without Micah,
now here's the problem. You said look at the team without Micah, looking at one game. What I'm looking at as a whole, I'm not talking about if they lost Micah week 2, this defense finds a way to adjust. But losing Micah this late in the season, when we're thinking about playoffs, they ain't gonna be able to compete in the playoffs without Micah.
Well, and if their defensive coordinator is a NFL head coach and is that good, then you would think this defense would have been a lot better without Micah going into the year. And the defense we're seeing now is obviously without Micah, but without other key parts, especially up front. So I think that's where the issue is. But the idea of being disappointed, the idea of being upset, all of that is understandable. But I'm saying you are spoiled if you are saying this season is over, because there is a lot be invested in.
So you think the Packers have a shot at winning?
The Packers have a shot at winning against the Vikings?
Super Bowl.
Winning against the Vikings?
Yeah.
Yes, I think they have a chance. They could still lose to the Vikings. We saw the Lions do it. Could they lose to the Bears or the 49ers? Yes. But could they also beat the Bears or the 49ers? Absolutely. And if you have a chance to win a playoff game, your season is absolutely not over. Let's talk to Mike. You're on Sunday Karma. Morning, Mike.
Good morning, guys. Question for you. Did last night help Jeff Haley's chances of leaving, Milwaukee Haley's chances of leaving or staying? Because after the last couple of weeks, I sure hope he gets offered a job and gets the hell out of Green Bay. Last night was pathetic. I don't care how many players you're missing. They just got killed. And statistically, their defense has not been better this year than last year. I think we just lived like we had Micah Parsons and we're happy and delusional for a bit because this defense sucks, you guys.
So, I mean, there's the Cardinals game, but the defense didn't suck throughout most of this year. But last night, it's a good point. What were they preparing for? It's not like Lamar Jackson. It's not like they thought Lamar Jackson was starting. They knew the Ravens were going to come in and just run the ball 50 times. What else did they think was going to happen last night?
That's what I thought was going to happen, and they did nothing. It was a leaderless defense. I mean, statistically, they're not better than they were last year, and I just think we're all delusional, and our defense absolutely sucks.
Yeah, but thanks for the call, Mike. You got to, though, admit, last year they played against all those backup quarterbacks, and, they gave up. Remember that run where they were giving up, 300 yards to, Tommy DeVito? And
that was
and last year.
That was 2 years ago. 4 games of 200 yards.
Bryce Young, when Bryce Young was garbage. I'm saying, this defense has been a better defense than we've seen in the past few years through most of this season. Again,
and they were good last week. They were legit last week. They galvanized behind the fact that Micah got hurt, and they kept his team into the game where they should have beat the Bears last week. They were good last week. This was, again, I think this comes down to, I don't believe this is the defense that we're going to see against the Vikings. I don't think this is even as bad as the defense we'll see in the playoffs. I think this had to do everything with this team. Derrick Henry as a stud running back, and he ran it down their throat. He is that dang talented. Talent at running back means something. That's why I'm afraid of the most talented running backs in the NFL.
And that's why you should be afraid of, I think, both San Francisco and the Bears because of their systems.
Yeah, I mean,
they both
I'm
have
concerned
yeah,
about,
they both have legit offensive lines.
Why is it that all of a sudden last week the Bears couldn't move the football? I mean, they ran the ball. They didn't dedicate themselves to the run the way the game was going. And, I mean, I'm not really concerned about what the Bears haven't been able to do.
I'm saying the Ravens are the second best running team in the NFL.
Oh, I didn't even realize
the Ravens are, and the Bears are the third.
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
But the Bears are the third. No,
the Bears. You played the Bears, and what did they do compared to what Derrick Henry did? That's all I'm saying. You have.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it had to do with the Packers' lack of intensity. They knew they were in.
Well, we gonna find out.
They were getting fat watching that Lions-Vikings game, and it's like this team. The worst
thing that did happen was the fact they clinched without having to do anything.
What have we said about this team? They are young, right? They are the young.
I'm not buying that no more.
No, but when you and your guy, who's your guy? Offensive lineman.
Rasheed Walker.
Yeah, you and Sheed. When you and Sheed were saying this team was going to be 17-0, what happened? You got smacked by the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
So
She's about to get a second contract. He ain't young no more.
I know. This team, though, I think can't handle when it has too much handed to it. And it had handed to it a playoff berth by the Minnesota Vikings that nobody expected to happen. And so when that happened, to me, there was a little bit of a take the foot off the gas going into this game.
Fourth down.
It was a take the foot off the gas, the level of intensity that we saw from the defense.
Unacceptable for a lot of these guys who are third and fourth year guys on this team. Unacceptable.
Totally unacceptable, but if they win a few playoff games, you're not going to be thinking back to, you'll be like, oh, that was the wake-up call.
Super Bowl bust, Craig.
Week 17 was the wake-up call.
Yeah, we did this last year, remember? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think when you're a 7 seed 2 years in a row, you could say you're Super Bowl or bust. I'm sorry. This team looked good during the year, but this is a young team, and if this team can win...
Ask Jason. I want you to ask Jason Wilde this.
Yeah.
Is this loss because of how young they are?
No, I'm not saying the losses. I'm saying your expectations are unfair given how young they are. Super Bowl or bust is not fair given where this team is. Now, I know you're not like the Lions. By the way, like the Lions, you're not guaranteed ever. So when you have a window, look at the Lions. Like they'd be like, oh, we're going to be back for the next 5 years. You know what? Lions are going to be home, for New Year's, much less the postseason. Their week 18 doesn't even matter.
That's true.
Which none of us would have thought.
None of us.
So I'm not saying you're guaranteed, and that's why you can't say the season's over, and that's why if the Packers were to win 2 playoff games, to me this season is a wild success. A wild success if the Packers were to win 2 playoff games. We'll ask Jason Wilde that question when we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. When it's game day, every detail matters, from the perfect seat on the couch to the perfect spread on the table. For over 125 years, Coops has been bringing incredible flavor to the table with 14 bold mustard flavors that turn good food great and great food amazing. Whether it's brats, burgers, or pretzels at halftime, Coops isn't your ordinary mustard. It's extraordinary mustard. So this football season, bring the bold, bring the flavor, bring Coops. Coops Mustard, spreading the love since 1897.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold the lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Get yours today at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Is mud calling a timeout on your ride? A Tsunami Express car wash membership is your winning play. Get unlimited washes, fast lane access, and free vacuums every visit, all for less than $1 a day. With 7 Milwaukee area locations, including the newest spot in New Berlin, keeping your car in prime time condition is a total touchdown. Whether you're tailgating, heading to the stadium, or just cruising around town, make sure you roll up looking like a champ. Become a member today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 16-ounce selected varieties, Frito-Lay kettle or potato chips, Doritos, or rolled gold pretzels, 2 for $6. 8-pack or 64-ounce selected varieties, Mott's apple juice, 2 for $6. 8-ounce selected varieties, McCormick cocktail or tartar sauce, $2.29. 16-ounce selected varieties, Dots pretzels, $4.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
2 over the top.
Free from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest.
Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with AccuTrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use AccuTrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. AccuTrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 20, Maurice Lucas, retired in 2006. Lucas at Marquette only 2 years, but he was so good. 74 NCAA championship game against NC State, 40 minutes, 21 points, 13 rebounds. In the semi-win over Kansas, 18 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Also, that game-winning shot in a win over Wisconsin that created the legendary post-game photo of the father of 2 Badger players very upset with Al McGuire. For your fellow fanatics and your number 1 fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
The results speak for themselves, and either you're going to jump on board or you're going to find out why they are who they are.
On 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We bring in Jason Wilde, who will try to talk some sense into Kyle Wallace, but Kyle doesn't seem like that kind of person. Right, Kyle?
I mean, today.
No, just in general. I feel like you're someone who, once you have your opinions, you're not out for listening.
No. I'll definitely listen. You just got to share facts and history with me, and then once you give me the information, the data. So you show me the data, I'll be like, okay.
So I guess you're saying you disagree that there is a path to winning championships in sports, that, like, you know, advancing and getting experience doesn't benefit teams moving forward.
I don't believe if you lose 3 or 4 straight games to end the season and your defense is playing like a bottom, play really bad, can't stop the
But
run.
Kyle, you admitted
I don't believe the
you
Packers
could see
had
them
the
beating the Bears or 49ers, and then their gift for that would be Sam Darnold, who has more turnovers than anybody in the NFL this season.
Their defense is really, really good in Seattle.
I know, but Sam Darnold has more turnovers than anybody in the NFL this year.
I don't want to go out to Seattle. I don't want to have to play St. Louis. I don't want to play LA. I don't want to play the Eagles. Those are 3 teams I don't want to touch.
Yeah, well, if
you got to touch one of them.
If the Packers win, it's likely than Seattle. But Kyle Wallace has said the season is now over because the Packers are no longer Super Bowl contenders. We say good morning to Jason Wilde and ask Jason, is Kyle right that the season is over because they are no longer capable of winning a Super Bowl?
No, of course not. It's not over. And stranger things have happened. But look, I'm always fascinated by this job, right? Because it's part.
Wait. Kyle just said, you said stranger things have happened, and he said in my ear, not for the Packers. The last Packers Super Bowl, That is what happened.
But the team got hot.
Right, they got hot in the last 2 regular season
hot,
games. So maybe this is the last regular season game.
Hot and Jason, healthy. Hot and they were healthy.
No, they weren't. They had a record-setting number of guys on IR. Now they weren't missing.
Who?
No. All right. So let's just everybody. All right. Let me start over.
Yeah,
okay?
and Jason, remind them the last game of that season. Right? They didn't play that well in the last game of the season.
No, they beat the Bears 10-3.
Yeah.
Like, it was not some sort of like they were dominant against the Giants the week before in the penultimate game of the regular season, but they needed to win both. The Bears could have kept them out of the playoffs. They had a IR list a mile long, which the Packers of 2025 now will have as well after what happened last night with a bunch of guys suffering season-ending injuries, it would appear. So, but again, that 2010 team did not lose its 2 best players, not the quarterback, on each side of the ball, right? I mean, if Kyle wants to say that we should just fold and call it a season and not even bother with the playoffs, just hold on, I'm here to support you.
Thank you.
Which I was seeing from a lot of Packers fans last night in responses to my minimal posts on social media. There was a lot of it. That and Bears fans who are still very mad that helmet-to-helmet hit then drew a fine as well for Austin Booker. But I always look at this job as a bunch of things that I do from a sports fan's perspective, since I'm not one of them. I feel like I'm a reporter, I'm a radio host, I'm an analyst, I deliver insight, I try to entertain, but I also feel like sometimes I'm a therapist. And I have no formal training, so don't take any of my advice as something that I've gained through education, but I have gained it from experience. And for starters, I understand that last night was a putrid defensive performance. Putrid, horrible, terrible, no good, very bad, awful. It was also turned in by one of the greatest running backs in NFL history. And so let's make sure that we're not confusing this with some random running back who came in here and put up 216 and 4 touchdowns. It was a very motivated running back who was one of the all-time greats, who was really pissed off about how he was utilized in a game that they lost 6 days earlier to the Patriots. And he and that offensive line, and listening to him and listening to John Harbaugh, that was a very motivated group. Now, that doesn't mean that the Packers are justified in getting torched to that degree. Not even close. But let's make sure we understand who did this to them and not overreact completely and pretend that this is some no-name running back that waltzed in here and put up 200 plus. Now, that said, there's no sugarcoating how awful last night was and how it squandered a magnificent performance by your backup quarterback, who, by the way, he leaves for what, 2 plays? And we get a Clayton Tune sack and an interception through Bo Melton's hands that Bo obviously should have caught. That game, they're still down 10 at that point. It's not over. But to me, the pivotal moment, and I pointed this out to LaFleur in the press conference, because he opened with the fact that Baltimore had controlled the whole game. And I was like, Matt, I understand what you mean, and I know it sucked, but so let's go back to the third quarter. And this is why, it's a terrible loss. I get it. Kyle, I am not, as Tausch's daughter Eleanor would say, feel your feelings. But it is 27-17. The Packers defense gets its first stop, forces the only punt by either team of the night, which, by the way, now the Packers have lost 3 games this year where they didn't punt, which is absolutely bonkers.
Wait, and Jason, there's also a game, I'll let you keep going. There's also a game where they only punted once. And they lost lost that game too.
Yeah, unbelievable.
0-4 when they punt once or less.
Yeah. That's just one of the weirdest things I've seen, and obviously I've seen a lot. So just to finish this thought, and then we can move on. It's 27-17. The defense finally gets a stop, right? J.J. Enagbare throws Derrick Henry for a 5-yard loss. Sets up 3rd and 14. They check it down. They force the punt. They go in and score, right? Malik Willis' second touchdown run. He has 2 explosive throws on the drive, one to Watson, one to Bo. And now it's 27-24. On the ensuing drive, they have the Ravens in 3rd and 5 at the Baltimore 20. And what happens? They let Derrick Henry get 9 yards on 3rd down, and then on the very next play, the last play of the 3rd quarter, they let him go for 30. And then it's basically ball game. Now, if Malik Willis doesn't leave to get the shoulder re-examined to make sure that he hasn't torn his labrum, maybe they get another touchdown on their next drive because Baltimore wasn't exactly stopping them. And maybe it goes down to the wire. Hey, maybe they recover an onside kick because I've seen it happen now. But I don't, as awful as it was, I don't think it is a absolutely, oh my God, these guys suck. They have no chance of doing anything. I don't see them that way. And I can see them winning next. I assume they're going to be at Sunday at noon now after that performance. But I can see them winning and kind of having this kind of get-right game because you know that they're going to be motivated. If they don't have J.J. McCarthy, they're not going to they can't let another running game trounce them when they're going to be facing a quarterback that can't do much else.
Wait, so Jason, who do you think their quarterback would be in this game, the Packers?
That's a great question, too, because we talked to LaFleur at 3 o'clock today, and I think that'll be among because he said he wanted to kind of get the lay of the land. Because there's part of me, and this is the dilemma, and this is what I want to ask him, is look, you've got 2 opposing forces here, right? On the one side, you got a bunch of injuries in this game. You just want to get to the playoffs as healthy as you can because you're locked into the number 7 seed. So do you want to risk anybody in this game because it really can do nothing for you from a positioning standpoint? But on the flip side, you need to win a football game. You need to change the vibe that you've lost 3 in a row, to Kyle's point. So how do you balance that, right? I think that is one of the things that he's going to be facing going through the week. Now, just to finish this thought, I understand how everyone feels, but I can see them beating Minnesota, and I'm sorry, I don't think that there is some sort of wide disparity between the Packers and the Bears. I think we probably have not given the Bears enough respect, and if they go out tonight and beat San Francisco in San Francisco, I may have to reevaluate. But I can see them going down in the rubber match.
I don't think you will, Jason. I think you'll say, I never thought the 49ers were that good if they win. I think at this point,
going out there to be
I think at this point they'd have to beat the Rams for people to think the Bears are good because that's the only team people think is good.
We got a Bear stand here.
No. I'm saying I think when people look around the NFL and specifically around the NFC, I think people don't respect Darnold enough. So
it'd be impressive.
They as the 1
like
seed,
that.
I think it's beating the Rams is what you need to do for people to think you're good.
Nah.
I think I would agree with you if they were playing in Chicago today, and you could say, okay, well, they're playing at home. San Francisco flew all the way across the country, blah blah blah. But if the Bears go all the way across the country and win this game, to me that's a signature win that gives the middle finger to all the people that have said they're fraudulent. They have beaten teams that were starting their backup quarterback, which has happened a lot this season. This would change my view. It would. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but even if they win, I still think the Packers, as we've seen in the 2 matchups, those teams pretty evenly matched. I still think the Packers are a slightly better team. At least they were before last night. And I still think the Packers can win in Chicago, and then probably that's as far as they get. That's my opinion. But to your point,
Jason,
to start all this,
yeah, I mean,
if you're facing Sam Darnold, I would feel better about that matchup, Craig, if the Packers were taking the ball away at the rate they were last season, right? I mean, that is the biggest like, as bad as the run defense was last night, and I get it, to me the worst thing is the fact that they have just been so terrible at taking the ball away, because I've never seen a team emphasize something more and fail more spectacularly to follow through on it.
Well, I would watch the Jets then, because I think they've set.
Well, it's a different category.
They have set the NFL all-time record for lack of interceptions, like that. A ball hasn't fallen into their hands.
Like you saw a tip pass through Bo Melton's hand yesterday get intercepted.
Yeah,
like that is that simple sometimes, and they haven't gotten that once. It's crazy.
That is crazy. So Jason, though, back to the Packers in Seattle, and then I want to talk about Malik Willis next segment. But I mean, if that's Sam Darnold's first playoff game, I still think anything can happen for a guy who leads the NFL in turnovers this year, right? Like he's had another great year for him this year, but he leads the NFL in turnovers. So that's why I'm saying, to think that this thing is over, to me, is crazy, because you said it. They're equal with whoever they're going to likely play in the first round, and then they're going to a tough environment to play the quarterback who has turned the ball over more than anyone in the NFL.
Yep, and again, I understand they've won one playoff game in the Jordan Love era at this point, right? They're 1-2 in the postseason, but they've won on the road. I think that even as frustrated as Packers fans are with Matt LaFleur, and there are certainly plenty of them that are, I still think we've seen him put together some pretty good game plans and good playoff teams. We've also seen them, everyone always brings up losing the NFC Championship game to Tom Brady at home. And I will always wonder if that is not the COVID season and there's 78,000 people in the stands, if even as great as Tom Brady is, the Packers finally play a home NFC Championship game with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback if they win the game. So
well, Jason, would the Packers have been the one seed? Would the Packers have been the one seed if there were people in the stands the whole season, right? So
that is a fair retort for sure.
You could play that out. As we get ready for next segment, my question for you, Jason, that I want you to ponder and have the answer when we come back is, will Kyle be rooting for the Browns today or the Steelers? A win and they're in game for Aaron Rodgers to be back in the postseason. Who will Kyle Wallace, as the prototypical Packers fan, be rooting for in that game? We'll talk about that and also what you think Malik Willis may be in this league as we continue at Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel wants to extend a sincere thank you to our guests and bingo players. With your generosity, this year's Heart of Canal Street event raised more than $700,000, helping 30 children's charities across southeastern Wisconsin. For more than 30 years, Heart of Canal Street has partnered with hundreds of local organizations to give children safe spaces, resources, and opportunities to thrive. Thank you for sharing your heart. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
At Citizens Bank, we believe banking is more than transactions. It's about being recognized and remembered. It's feeling like you're understood and supported along the way. It's the small stuff that says, we know you. Because when your bank gets you, banking just feels better. Citizens Bank. Bank where you belong. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/belong. Citizens Bank is member FDIC.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Tanas Santalucumpo. Download the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Santa, tell me if you're really there.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Santa, tell me if he really cares, 'cause I can't give it all away if he won't be here.
Jason has been pondering every last second that he had to determine. Kyle Wallace, prototypical Green Bay Packers fan, rooting for Aaron Rodgers to get sacked multiple times by Myles Garrett and for him to become the all-time sack leader in a Browns victory today, or for Aaron Rodgers to have a signature performance and the Pittsburgh Steelers to go to the playoffs. Which, Jason, is Kyle Wallace rooting for today as the prototypical Packers fan?
Well, as a Packers fan who is appreciative of all the great moments, including the Super Bowl championship that Aaron Rodgers provided him and the joy that came with that, not to mention the fact that he went out and beat the Lions to help the Packers' chances to get a playoff berth without having won a game in 3 weeks, I firmly believe that he is pulling for Aaron Rodgers to win and earn a playoff berth, and wish him nothing but good health, happiness, and postseason success.
I'm just kidding, Jason. No, you're right. I told Craig it'd be cool if Aaron Rodgers goes out there and win. I mean, listen.
By the way, I felt like Jason was trying to sell you in his answer, but you didn't need to be sold.
I didn't. I love Aaron Rodgers. I really do. And with Baltimore,
you thought Aaron was gonna be garbage this year. Be honest. We fought it. Me and Jason were like, and you were like, what? Oh, those last 3 games on the Jets? Oh, yeah. I'm really going to buy into those.
I don't believe. Listen, I didn't expect the Ravens to be 8-8 this late in the season. Lamar
Right.
Jackson got hurt,
That's
and
fair.
I think that plays a big role. But heck, I mean, Aaron Rodgers did a great service for us by beating the Lions last week, and I'm rolling with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they're not going to win a Super Bowl, but it'll be nice to see him. I'm to the point where I want him to come back next year.
And Aaron hasn't been that great. He's just been good enough, right?
Yeah, I mean with that coach, they just need a competent quarterback.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, right? Like for them to go out and beat the Lions, and I know it was all those offensive pass interference calls and all that, but for them to do that, and for Aaron to be winning games that he's winning today, I don't know. What do you think? Could we have history recreated, Jason? Well, could Michael Strahan, the intentional sack, could Aaron Rodgers allow Myles Garrett to intentionally sack him for the all-time record the way Brett Favre did with Michael Strahan?
Isn't that T.J. Watt tied? Isn't he tied?
Yeah, he's tied.
Yeah, no, he can't do that.
Even if he didn't have T.J. Watt as a teammate, I would say, and you know me, when I give Homer a hard time whenever he says 0% chance or 100%. There is a 0% chance that Aaron Rodgers will do that the way Brett Favre did. I was at that game at the Meadowlands. That was, I believe, was that in January of 2002 when they moved that game to the back end of the season because of 9/11. And I have never seen, especially Tausch, but I have never seen a group of players more angry with a teammate than those offensive linemen were with Brett Favre. They went into that game, and that was their goal, was to prevent him from getting the record. And they succeeded until Brett Favre decided to gift wrap it for him. And so Aaron Rodgers, for all of his faults, and we have outlined those for many years, he understands the importance of respecting your teammates and the connectivity with them. He may also yell at them publicly and wave his arms around to wide receivers.
But he got them some pretty cool ATVs. Did you see that video?
He did, yeah. He's a really good gift giver to his guys. There's no question about that. I'm a little confused by the Joe Burrow.
Give me the shoes.
Well, they were nice. Xavier McKinney showed us his. And then Josh Jacobs was looking in other guys' lockers at their shoes to see if he liked theirs better, which I thought was funny because how do you know the guys were the same size? But I do not see Aaron Rodgers ever doing something like that. I cannot tell you how angry those offensive linemen were. The only other time I saw an offensive line that angry was the 4th and 26 game after Mike Sherman had told them after they failed on a 4th down in the first half against the Eagles, if we get another 4th and 1, we're going for it and we're blanking getting it. And then obviously they punted late in the game. And so that offensive lineman, man, they will really – it takes a lot to get them really, really mad at coaches and teammates, but those were two ways that it happened.
Jason, really quickly, random – because you're talking about offensive linemen, it made me think about the Packers offensive line. Josh Jacobs was just resting yesterday. I'm assuming he's just resting until the playoffs.
That's one, because of the way they lost, Kyle, I mean, LaFleur talked for 10 minutes. Jason Wallers, who's in charge of their PR, gave the 2-question warning. And then I actually said to Matt, after what was supposed to be the last question for me, I said, can I ask you another one? And he said, you can ask me as many as you want, which I wish people would have taken advantage of because that was ridiculous how short it was. But we never asked about that. This is now 2 weeks in a row where there's been something, to use the line from The Fugitive that Tausch had never heard, something hinky with what's going on with Josh Jacobs, right? He was off the injury report for this game. He wasn't questionable. It wasn't a game-time decision. He was off the injury report, which meant he was playing. But then, he obviously did not run the ball productively, 1. But 2, he wasn't out there that much, and he didn't get that many carries. And so, again, I don't know. There's something not quite right there. And then, obviously, there's something not quite right with Rashawn Gary. Like, and I've had people ask me, is he injured?
Or
right, like, no, because here's the thing, Kyle, and I was saying this to the person who asked me this. The Packers put everybody and their brother on the injury report, right? If you have anything remotely resembling an injury, they put you on the report because they don't want to get, like the Lamar Jackson thing earlier this season, right? LaFleur is hypersensitive about that. And by the way, if they wanted to provide cover for Rashawn Gary's performance, putting him on the injury report would be the way to do it, right? It would reduce the number of questions being asked about how many plays he's not on the field for and everything else. But they haven't done that. So I don't I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just they're down on him. I don't know if they aren't sure about his effort level. I don't know. It's just for a guy that is supposed to be such a key piece to what they do. Now it's 9 games in a row. This guy had 4.5 sacks after 3 games. Now he goes into the finale needing 2.5 sacks to get to double digits for the first time in his career. It felt like a foregone conclusion going into week 4, and now here we are going into week 18. So I don't know what I don't know what's going on with either one of those guys. I am a big believer in Josh Jacobs. Obviously, he wasn't productive last night, but they didn't have really good answers for why he, after the fumble with 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter in Chicago, he never played another offensive snap. But then they put him out there on the hands team on the onside kick,
which was so weird.
Right, and that's a collision sport, collision play, right? They didn't block anybody. I don't know. But these are the kinds of things, and it takes getting a guy who trusts you to say, all right, here's what's really going on. And I have had guys like that, but I have not been able to crack that code on either one of those situations.
Wow, interesting stuff, Jason. I want to ask you about Malik Willis. I haven't seen many quarterbacks throw that many passes downfield that accurately who aren't starting, high-level starting quarterbacks in the NFL. He wasn't these weren't 4-yard outs that guys were breaking tackles and having lots of yak. These were really well-thrown downfield balls. He looks like a legitimate NFL starting quarterback to me. Is this just Matt LaFleur being so brilliant, or, are you agreeing on this?
Well, I think both of those things are true. Okay, so first of all, and we've heard Tausch talk about this for years because Tausch had an amazing NFL career. He's one of the greatest stories in all of Packers history. But he will tell you that had Seattle, who he thought was going to drafted him, and he hadn't gotten the opportunities he did. Now, he deserves all the credit in the world, and I give that to him, for maximizing the opportunities he got, right? If you get an opportunity, it's up to you to make the most of it. And he absolutely did, with Earl Dotson's back locking up and him getting all that work in training camp, et cetera, et cetera. But he has always said that situations matter. And the situation in Tennessee, I remember there was a story from, I can't remember who wrote it, but it was with Marcus Mariota talking about how when he was in Tennessee, they basically didn't have a game plan. They just was like, hey, go make it up as you go along. And there were other players that confirmed that. Well, that place has been a place that has been very difficult for quarterbacks, no matter who it's kind of like Packers special teams coaches. No matter who's in charge, it's a problem.
Which, by the way, way off the record, that still is my theory on 2 other slightly undersized quarterbacks, Kyler Murray and Bryce Young. And now we're seeing Bryce Young play a lot better. I feel like Kyler Murray hasn't had the legit situation yet, and that Bryce Young is playing pretty well in maybe starting to get it. But all right, continue.
Yeah, totally agree. And so in the case of Malik Willis, remember, he was a high-level recruit. Okay, he went to the same high school as Xavier McKinney. He went to Auburn first. And obviously, SEC power, sometimes you can be a really good player, you can't win the job, especially a quarterback. So he ends up transferring to Liberty, where he was never under center. it was certainly not a pro-style offense like he would get to in the NFL. And as he admitted last night, I just wasn't ready, right? And so he hits the reset button here. He certainly was great with the very limited game plan that they gave him in week 2 last year, right? And then in week 3, it was a little bit more, and he showed he could handle that. And then we didn't really see him until the Jacksonville game when he was even better, when Love left with a groin injury. So you could see the trajectory he was on. Then he had a full offseason here, a full training camp here. He was awesome in the preseason. And you're like, hey, look, this guy, you knew he was talented, and you figured, hey, he went to a bad situation. So do I think the situation has allowed him to flourish? Absolutely. Do I think he is a genuinely talented cat who is good enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL? I also think that. And I thought last night, look, it's not my job to root for guys, but Craig, you've known me for 20-some years. I do root for people. I don't root for teams. And I was incredibly happy for him because talk about meeting the moment. Like, I'm sure there were still skeptics that were like, okay, cute story and all, but now with a game that if they win this one and they win the next one and the Bears lose both, they can win the division. I don't feel so great about him. And the dude threw 3 incomplete passes and did it with a injured throwing shoulder that he
But Jason, it's also we've seen like Aaron Rodgers go 5 or 6 weeks, I think, this year without completing a pass like with air yards over 15 yards. Like there were like 6 or 7 like throws that were 20-yard plus throws completed.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I thought it was interesting. He said on the throw where he then grabs his shoulder, he said it was an all-arm throw. Okay, and I think that's important because I think what you saw from him is, and LaFleur had talked about it during the week about his footwork. I do think that one of the things that happened was he got to Green Bay and got really, really good coaching, right? I mean, he improved his ability as a quarterback he had last year with Tom Clements, right? And now Sean Mannion. I think he took his talent and he got the coaching to improve his fundamentals. I always talk about Matt Flynn, who's the other candidate for greatest backup quarterback in the modern Packers era. Matt Flynn got here in 2008 as a 7th-round pick, and his mechanics were bad. His arm strength wasn't good enough, but he got with McCarthy and he got with Tom Clements, and you saw what he became. Now, his starting career did not go as planned when he got to Seattle, but, that dude could sling it. And if you get the footwork right and you get the mechanics right and you have that natural talent that Malik Willis has, then you see what can happen.
Yeah, it was an incredible performance. And, I don't think we would have thought they would lose by more than 2 scores and we'd be coming out thinking it was a transformational game for him, but I think it was. So, Jason, I guess you'll find out at 3:00 today. Do you think you'll know how important next week is to the Packers, or do you think this is something that we'll figure out over the course of the week, right? In terms of how they're going to approach this game?
Yeah, good question. I mean, if I'm Matt LaFleur, I'm not sure that I'm going to proclaim what I'm doing, right? And so he will. I can guarantee you this: he will be asked what his thinking is. Whether or not he actually tells us, I think he'll probably do exactly what I did on this program, which was lay out the pros and cons of here's why they should play to win, and here's why they should rest guys and try to get healthy. And I think we'll go through the week, and I do think he has to get a pulse for his team on just where they're at, right? You have to be able to read, just like, you running this company. You have to be able to read where people are at and where morale is and do we need to do this to kind of turn things around in this market or whatever else. It's his job not only to design game plans and not only to face the music when they lose and all the other stuff, but it's his job to have his finger on the pulse of what his team needs. And if he thinks they need a confidence boost and he thinks they need to play to flush this kind of feeling out of their systems, then he has to risk the potential injuries to do it. But again, the biggest question to me is, what do you do at quarterback? Because Love missed the second half in Chicago. He didn't play last night. if you keep him out, even if he passes the concussion protocol, now you're talking about he hasn't basically played in almost 3 weeks. I don't know if that's ideal for going into a playoff game either.
Yeah, I'd be stunned if he set out the entire game. I think I would also be stunned if he played all 4 quarters. So I think it'll be somewhere in between there.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Great stuff. Great therapy after 3 straight losses for the Green Bay Packers.
Thanks, Jason.
Jason Wilde is there for you the next morning after the loss. Thanks so much, Jason.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
All right. More Sunday Karma as we continue on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's cold here in Milwaukee, and if you've been thinking about new windows, it's good you waited, because during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. On windows that stop the cold wintry drafts, seal out moisture, and so energy efficient, you'll save money on your utility bills. Installed in 1 day. Lifetime warranty and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. WindowNation.com to get started.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is kicking off their first tournament of the season with $1,000 in cash prizes. This is Gary Ellerson, inviting you to team up for a 2-man scramble at Paynes Valley. Play it on their spacious state-of-the-art golf simulators. Sign up now at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. Just $120 per team, and you must finish your round by December 31st. This is their first of many winter tournaments. Keep an eye on their website. Take on Paynes Valley starts today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
As the year winds down, we all pause to take stock of where we've been and where we want to go next. If finishing your degree has been on your mind, this could be your moment. At Lakeland University, education fits real life with flexible evening and online classes, credit for your work and life experiences, and multiple start dates so you don't have to wait. Earn your degree 100% online, close to home at one of our 6 Wisconsin centers, or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. This next year, invest in what matters most. You. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
All right, Kyle, we've gone over an hour and have not mentioned Giannis Antetokounmpo's return. And I'm not saying we're getting away from the Packers completely at any point in the show, but Giannis came back. Bucks win at Chicago. I feel like needed a win against Chicago after those Packers losses. Not that it erases those.
No, it does not.
But
and nobody was watching here in Wisconsin. We're all sad watching the Packers game.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Packers much last night. I was locked in on that Bucks game.
You didn't miss me. I'm glad they came back and they won. Giannis is back and they won.
I'm saying the Packers had the playoff spot locked in. I didn't think they were going to show up. Malik Willis showed up. I didn't.
Did you know when Jason Wilde told us throughout the week that he felt good about Love playing, and then when Love was
the second Jordan Love was out, I was like, oh, they're you know,
and Josh Jacobs not playing, and that told me all I needed to know.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm not even like I could have had it on multiple screens. I was like, no, I'm locked in. The Bucks need this win.
Big money. Okay,
I'm
multiple screens.
What? I could go my TV. You could sub
4 screens. Yeah, not mine.
YouTube TV. Anyone can do that.
Oh, you can do it with YouTube TV. I'm on a Never mind.
Yeah.
No. That's legal. Family plan for YouTube TV.
Yeah, YouTube TV. You could put on multiple. Like it's not like some fancy thing.
I didn't know that.
Really? It's like an option when you look at things.
I legitimately just got YouTube TV on my phone 2 weeks ago.
I mean, we have it here in the studio. I could show you. Like it's
okay, you know.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, Giannis comes back. Giannis was the difference. I really do believe it's a game the Bucks would not have won without Giannis. They are built to be with Giannis. They are an over 500 team with Giannis. They are a bottom of the barrel, probably worst 8 teams in the league, worst 6 teams in the league without Giannis. If Giannis is healthy, it will be very interesting to see where this goes. If the Bucks, you look up, the Bucks are 5 games out of the 4 seed right now. But also, if the Bucks go 12-6 right now, they're still around the 9 seed. And that's a big if, right? To win 12 of the next 18 games. So it is
top 10, all we need.
They've dug themselves a deep, deep hole. And I think what you said is probably what you have to think about, that this team needs to be top 10 because getting to top 6 is going to be really, really difficult. Right now, 6 games out of the 6th seed, and that's going to be really tough. I think no one wants to see the Bucks, though, right? A healthy Bucks team, there's going to be very few people who could argue that Giannis won't be the best player on the court in any game in the postseason in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
And so last night showed it to me. The Bucks are going to be a dangerous team and a really, really fun team to watch. 2 games coming up, which will, I think, tell you a lot, as weird as it sounds. At Charlotte, where the Bucks lost earlier in the year. They won at home in overtime. And then home against the Wizards, who the Bucks lost at Washington earlier this year.
Why would, especially the Wizards one, why would it show you anything with Giannis back?
If the Bucks can win 3 consecutive games. That's why.
Oh, Craig, the bar is so low for you today.
Right, I'm saying
my boy Giannis is back.
Right, but right now the Bucks have not shown an ability to win consecutive games and be consistent at all. And so that is like we're trying to rebuild right now.
I get what you're saying.
This season, right?
Yeah.
We're not going from 11-19 to winning the championship. Let's first show you could put some wins together so that then coming into 2026, we could say, okay,
2026, January 2026, we're talking about season.
No, January 20. I'm saying a week from now.
Okay,
I'm saying,
whoa.
I'm saying just, again, last week, the Bucks ended up losing to Brooklyn by 50 on the road, right?
Yeah, that was
after they had beaten the Celtics.
Yeah, that was.
So that's what I'm saying. We can't just assume. So win these next 2 games. Get to 15.
Giannis is back. They're like 3-11 without Giannis this year. I think.
Get to 15-19, and then be like, all right, let's see what this team can do. Can this team be top 6? Can this team, go on a little run? Because I think we just first need to see that this team can be healthy, they can be together, and they can be consistent. Because KPJ was out before the first game ended. Gary Trent's out now. Taurean Prince has been out. They've had a lot of injuries. Obviously, Giannis being the one that's mattered. But let's just see if they can win 3 consecutive games and can be consistent and can be healthy. Because then I think they are a team that could be back to the way people were thinking about them in the first 2 weeks of the year, where they could be a top 5 team in the East. And that's what I think we need to see. We'll have more as we continue. We'll get back into the Packers. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Nobody should be writing the season off. The idea of being one of the top teams without 2 of your best players is a big reach. But this is a season that you can find ways to do it.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
You think anybody ever feels sorry for the Green Bay Packers? They don't. And they shouldn't. And you shouldn't.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Big ideas deserve a big story and the right audience. At Saturn Lounge, we bring your marketing to life with branding, websites, digital marketing, and video storytelling that stands out from the crowd. Whether it's a TV spot, a campaign, or content built to connect, Saturn Lounge is where strategy meets creativity. From the first spark of an idea to the final cut, we're here to make your message shine across every platform. Ready to make your marketing a success? Step into the spotlight with Saturn Lounge, your launch pad for bigger, better marketing. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
A new exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card is your opportunity to go from cardholder to ticket holder for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For a limited time, when you're approved for a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card, you're eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more today at bfa.com/cardfwc26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
A little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You've noticed a change in your teen. They seem distant, and you wonder if it's the usual ups and downs or something deeper, like substance use or mental health struggles. If you're worried, why wait to reach out? Hazelden Betty Ford offers specialized care for teens and young adults, plus support for families. Call 1-855-489-2383 or visit WeGotYou.org, because love doesn't wait for a crisis, and change starts when you do. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. This season, 2 new players. Number 1, Marcus Howard. Number 1 is Jersey, and he's also number 1 in career scoring now and likely forever. And number 22, Jarrell McNeil, the all-time leading scorer until passed by Howard. McNeil represents the new standard. The number 22 is not retired, given that Jim Jones, number 22, retired last season, and Sean Jones wearing number 22 this season. So the jersey with the name is retired, but the number might be worn again. Medicare can be confusing. It can be a lot to consider when you just want medical and financial security. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance keeps it simple. You have the freedom to see any doctor in the U.S. who accepts Medicare. Planning on moving? Your plan moves with you. Can't get much simpler than that. Call Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance. The intent of this advertisement is solicitation of insurance. Contact may be made by the insurer or a licensed agent. Neither Wisconsin Physician Service Insurance Corporation nor its agents nor products are connected with the federal Medicare program.
I had nightmares at my birth mom's house. It was really scary living there. There were always drugs in the house. The police came, and that's when I was placed into foster care.
Right now in the U.S., more than 100,000 children, like Ariana, are waiting for a family.
Once I was adopted, I definitely felt safe.
Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find permanent homes for children in foster care. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
By the way, I didn't, thanks for Bloody. I didn't even mention, the main thing I wanted to mention from the Bucks game last night was the way it ended. Because I thought the two most impactful and biggest takeaways from last night's games were Malik Willis's play, because I think that's game-changing in terms of what it could potentially mean if in a playoff game you had to go a stretch without Jordan Love. I think it's different than what I thought. Even what we saw last year, man, that showed me something. And what Giannis did at the end of the game last night, for those of you, wow, did you just cue that up on YouTube right now? Like, are people watching on YouTube seeing that? Or just
no, Craig. You can see my whole.
Okay,
screen,
I can see that. All right,
but people
I didn't know you were like that. Yeah.
Quickly in the next 30 seconds.
Giannis, as the Bucks were running out the clock, Giannis, instead of just dribbling out the clock as the Bulls were not going to foul, Giannis took it the length of the court and up 7, had a windmill dunk to give the Bucks the margin of victory of 9, which the team won the game by. And the Bulls took issue. There was some shoving. Giannis began to walk off the court. Bobby Portis, KPJ, I would say were the two most prominent Bucks to get into the mix. And Giannis, after the game, had a clear comment about this, that, hey, the Bucks are the 11 seed. If you're the 11 seed, you need to be scrapping and fighting for everything. And we need to be scrappy, and if we can't be worried about the being kind and unofficial rules. We just need to be mucking it up a little bit. Kyle, feel like you love that. Feel like you were excited to see that, and that's what you're all about.
I was happy to see it all. I was happy to see the dunk. First and foremost, I was happy to see Giannis back doing his thing.
Now, you're not worried? Like, guy's coming off a calf injury, and he's supposed to be on a minutes restriction? You're not like, yo, Giannis, what are you doing, man? You got hurt in a non-contact injury. What are you trying to do right now with unnecessary activity?
The way that he fell, I was concerned. But I'm glad that he did it. I'm glad he did it because it's setting a little tone, and I'm glad that the team came out. If you go on ESPN Milwaukee or ESPN Madison on YouTube, you'll see a little scuffle. And I'm glad Bobby Portis came out and did what he's supposed to do. It kind of brings the guys together. Anytime you have a fight, I don't know about you, Craig. I don't know if you've been in any fights before. You don't look like the fighting type.
I've been only on fights on basketball courts, actually.
Well, there it is, because you know that ain't nobody really get beat up. But when you get into a fight, usually after you get done, if you on the side of the winning team, what do you guys do? Yeah, we whoop, they whoop. We whoop, they because it galvanizes guys and it brings them all together. So I think this was strategic by Giannis as an attempt to help bring the Bucks together with the fact that he did something that some people would say is something you shouldn't do. But if you see him running off the court, Bobby Portis is running off the court with the nasty.
It's the guys who you think. It was KPJ, it was Bobby Portis, maybe a little Andre Jackson, maybe a little Gary Trent.
You get in the locker room, you slap your hands like, yeah. They need that type of camaraderie.
And a little edge,
With everything that they've been going through, it has been tough without having Giannis around. And so being able to have Giannis back, you get the victory, but then you have an opportunity where everybody's laughing, everybody's smiling, talking about what we're going to do next. That was something the Bucks just needed. Sometimes you need some type of team bonding, and this team bonding was, we're going to fight for one another, and that's what we're going to do for the rest of the season.
You know what's interesting? I brought up the idea of how important this Charlotte game is on the road, and I know you might be thinking like, oh, it's Charlotte, like it's an easy win. Charlotte is no joke. Like, Charlotte just went to Orlando and won by 15. Charlotte is a legit team in this league. They beat the Hawks recently. They went to Cleveland and beat the Cavaliers recently. Like, Charlotte's no joke. And so this could be a really tough game and a really fun game to watch. I know everyone loves Conca-Nipple. And
sure do.
And should. By the way, should. He's playing unlike any rookie I've ever seen ever in the NBA.
Are you talking about him shooting or overall? Because, I mean, LeBron James is pretty good.
No, how he's playing. Like, LeBron was a better player than him.
Yeah, but you're talking
Cooper Flag may be a better rookie. But I've never, like, he's playing like he's been there before. Like, the smoothness, like, he's close to 50, 40, 90. Like, LeBron wasn't efficient as a rookie.
Yeah, he's gonna
Cooper
be that.
Flag hasn't even been that efficient throughout his rookie year. He has been so efficient from the day he stepped on the court, as a Cedric Howard, by the way, but not to the same degree.
You know what's crazy about Con? Is that he has always consistently been that guy. I mean, he's not a superior athlete. I mean, obviously he's a good athlete in the NBA, but he's not like a superior athlete. He's always been able to shoot. I was talking to somebody before. It's not like in high school he was going for 50 against cats. 28, 30. Like, he just plays his game. I just, I don't want any of those kids ever to play for the Bucks because it's just too much. Too much pressure to be at home here in this city.
Yeah, I mean, I think for any team it is, but, I mean, he has proven he can handle anything. I mean, the way he has come into the NBA, and I said 50, 40, 90, 48% from the field, 43% from three, 89.7% from the line, which I saw him miss 2 in a row the other night, which got him below 90. I mean, the guy, it's been incredible to watch. So you put him on a really, really talented team, that, really has no pressure and no anything and just trying to figure out what they are. It'll be an interesting one for the Bucks, and that's why I'm saying if this team can prove they can win games back to back, that will be a step, and that is tomorrow night in Charlotte. All right, we will get back to talking Packers as we roll on. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey football fans, get ready for kickoff with homemade party must-haves this week at Sendik's. Start with delicious dips, guacamole, pico de gallo, potato chips, and popcorn. Score big with over 20 varieties of homemade sausage and gourmet burgers. Then, stop by Sendik's Deli for homemade salads, side dishes, and even pinza pizzas. All made from scratch every day. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
The holidays are busy. Meals to make, gifts to wrap, parties to host. When it's finally time to unwind, make it blissful with Carbless. Crisp, refreshing, and full of flavor with every sip. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, only 100 calories, and gluten-free. While it may be frozen outside, it's always flawless with Carbless. No guessing and no compromise. So whether you're celebrating with friends, hosting the crew, or relaxing by the fire, bring bliss to your holiday gatherings. Carbless, full of flavor, guilt-free enjoyment.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 41. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Home buyers are raving about their experiences with the Citizens Bank mortgage team.
Aaron helped me get pre-approved really fast, like before the open house even started.
I called Devin so many times with questions, and he always answered.
It's more than a mortgage. It's your future. And at Citizens Bank, we make it personal. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/mortgage. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender. NMLS 746419.
Game days are here, and your car needs to look as ready as you do. Before you hit the stadium, surf to Tsunami Express Car Wash, the ultimate pre-game stop to roll in clean and confident. Our state-of-the-art tunnels treat, clean, protect, and dry every car to perfection. With 7 Milwaukee area locations, including our newest in New Berlin, we are wherever you need us. Sign up online and your first wash is absolutely free. That's a $25 value on the house. Claim your free wash today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you can save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Brian Balaga. Find the Homer Hour on the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need.
Not only is it the final show of the year, but the final time I tell you about Gruber Law Offices, because it is one call that's all in terms of everything at Gruber Law Offices. It's a way of life. It's a mantra. It's a commitment to the community. And it is being locally and family owned for 30 plus years. Tens of thousands of Wisconsinites helped by Gruber Law Offices. So one call that's all means that when something terrible happens that you weren't planning for, no one ever intends to use Gruber Law Offices, but knowing that Gruber Law Offices is there when you need them is something that this community has relied on for a long, long time. That's why every time the Bucks make a three-pointer, every time you're watching any of your favorite teams play or at a community event, or at a charity, you so often see Gruber Law offices because One Call That's All has been a commitment to this community as well. So if you or a loved one is ever injured, remember it's One Call That's All, and a happy and healthy new year to all and from all those at Gruber Law offices. So Kyle, you put up a warped poll, I feel like, on YouTube.
Oh, what? What is that term?
Warped. It was warped. It was,
I don't know. What does warped mean? Does it mean misleading or?
Yes. It was stilted. It was biased.
Biased poll. Oh, okay. What was so biased about it?
Because my point wasn't that the Packers are going to the Super Bowl. My point was that if the Packers go to the NFC Championship, this is an awesome season for the Packers.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not an awesome season. A team that has Super Bowl aspirations not going to the Super Bowl is not an awesome season. That means it's a failure. And that will be the conversation, because now you're talking about going to year 4 as Jordan Love
every
being starter,
situation.
And he's the last 2 seasons he's been hurt at the end of the season.
Yeah,
Josh Jacobs is banged
right,
up.
but you're not listening.
Okay, you said listening. I got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Go ahead.
If the Packers go to the NFC Championship, it won't mean Jordan Love was hurt at the end of the year. It'll be Jordan Love came back and led them to 2 postseason victories, which he had never done before. It will mean that the offense came together. It would mean that they beat the number 1 seed, right? Because they'll probably be the 7th seed.
So they play 2 seed, and then they have to be the 1 seed.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll mean they'd beat the number 2 and the 1 seed.
Be impressive.
And so to me, that seems like it's still at play here. That is still plausible that could happen. I get it where it feels like winning 4 in a row doesn't seem realistic, but they could definitely win those 2. They could have beat the Bears twice in a row. And
they should have beat the Bears.
Right? And now they may have a 3rd time where they could.
I'm not saying that this team is just done. I'm saying
you said the season is over.
The season is over in the sense of if we're not winning a Super Bowl, the season is over in my mind. I'm not looking for any type of moral victory where the team. No,
I'm not saying it's a moral victory, but what I'm saying is winning 2 playoff games would definitely prepare this team for next year.
They're already going to be prepared for next year, Craig. This team coming back next year is going to be one of the top teams in the NFC.
But you don't think the experience of what you do along the way impacts how well you play the next year?
No, that definitely. I
mean, I know that's more in the NBA probably.
It didn't help last season where we lost in the first round, but
I know, but I'm saying I will agree. In the NFL, there are teams that just sometimes come out of nowhere, and you may not have to win and in the NBA, it's you got to win and have the losses before you get the wins.
This year. You're going to have a whole bunch of new bloods.
Right.
Houston's going to be one of the more experienced teams in the playoffs this year for that.
But I'm saying, don't we all think Buffalo, even if they're the 4 or 5 seed, is with their terrible defense?
They should have Super Bowl. Honestly, if I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, there's going to be probably no Lamar. We'll see. But potentially no Lamar. There's no Pat Mahomes. And I got the best quarterback.
And no Burrow.
And no Burrow. This is the year Josh Allen should win. If they don't win, they're going to be upset in Buffalo because despite them not being a top 3 seed or winning their division, I should say, they still should have Super Bowl aspirations because who their quarterback is and the way that their team is made up. Now, when you look at the Green Bay Packers,
right, and that's what I'm saying. I think we look at those teams who've had the brutal losses for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, but they ran into buzzsaws.
Right, but they have had those brutal losses for 5 or 6 years. Jordan Love is still early in this process with the Packers, so winning 2 playoff games would be great progress for this team. That is a means to an end. They're the youngest team in the NFL.
I'll take it, but I won't be satisfied.
I'm not saying to be satisfied. I'm saying
we learned yesterday we're not going to the Super Bowl. I mean, we knew we weren't going to the Super Bowl, but yesterday put a period on it because we just know the run game. It's going to be a team that's going to run all over us.
This league is so parity and so balanced that I think you can legitimately see the Packers going out and beating the 2 seed and the 1 seed in back-to-back weeks.
Sure, but
if that happens, my point is,
what do you get for beating the 2 and the 1 seed, Craig?
You get a berth in the NFC Championship, which is a new level that this team has not gotten to.
That's true. I would take that.
And if you can get to a new level that this team has not gotten to, then to me that is progress and that is success for this year's team.
You got me. I would be happy, but I would still feel like, man, there's just if Micah Parsons did not get hurt, what could this season have been? And that's exactly how I felt when he went down. I said, man, oh man, this.
But by the way, if that happened, the juice going into that NFC Championship game, because having beat the 1 seed and the 2 seed, you would be definitely thinking they're going to the Super Bowl.
It would take for this defense to have, again, this defense needs to perform like they performed against the Bears.
That's what I'm saying. Don't disengage from this season. That is all still within the grasp of this year's team. The same way Door County Distillery could be within your grasp. And Alex Strofe, as always, is here to tell us about Door County Distillery as Sunday Karma continues right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
Sorry, Craig, we still have Christmas music going.
That's all right.
There we go. Here's Alex.
Over at Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. They've got gins, they've got whiskeys, they've got rums, they've got brandies for your old fashions, all the in-betweens, and it's available statewide. If you're going to Door County, though, you got to stop in. It's connected to Door Peninsula Winery in Carlsville, just north of Sturgeon Bay. Do the tours, do the tastings, check out the exclusive product available only at Door County Distillery. But if you're not, man, let's elevate that family reunion. Let's elevate, whatever you got going on, birthday parties, tailgates, whatever you've got going on this summer. Door County Distillery needs to be a part of it with all of their fantastic product. Check out their website, doorcountydistillery.com. Find the retailer nearest you. They have a great search tool. If you're looking for, say, their single malt whiskey, which has won 27 national gold medals, click that, type in your zip code, boom, finds the retailer nearest you, as well as a huge list of unique cocktail recipes over at their website, doorcountydistillery.com.
On this show, it's always football season.
So now Jeff Hafley's going to have to get more creative. Everybody will have to bow up and do things. And the main guy is Jordan Love.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
This went from a defensive-led team to now Jordan Love. Put him on your back. You're going to have to get the cape out.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Time's running out. It's the final chance of 2025 to save big at the Last Call Savings Event. This month at Eunice, get 0% APR financing for 60 months on select new vehicles across multiple brands. Or take advantage of huge discounts and rebates on all new in-stock cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Thinking pre-owned? Check your local dealer website for a new selection of discounted pre-owned super specials and shop our group-wide inventory of over 700 pre-owned under 20 grand and over 300 under 10 grand. Plus, we have great service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes. Hurry in. When 2025 ends, so do the savings. Start your search today at shoptunis.com. 0% APR financing for 60 months on select models with approved credit through OEM lenders. Not all buyers qualify. Rate set by lender with approval subject to buyer insurability. 0% for 60 months equals $1,667 for $1,000 finance. Excludes tax, title, license, and $499 dealer service fee. Offer ends 1/5/26.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel wants to extend a sincere thank you to our guests and bingo players. With your generosity, this year's Heart of Canal Street event raised more than $700,000, helping 30 children's charities across southeastern Wisconsin. For more than 30 years, Heart of Canal Street has partnered with hundreds of local organizations to give children safe spaces, resources, and opportunities to thrive. Thank you for sharing your heart. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. A new one this season honoring Coach Tom Crean. Third coaching banner with number 77 Al McGuire and Hank Raymonds. Crean's 2003 team went to the Final Four. He brought in Dwayne Wade and helped get Marquette into the Big East. An honor for Crean long overdue. And the proper order of what he accomplished, Big East, Final Four, and most importantly, Tom Crean convinced Dwayne Wade to come to Marquette. Medicare won't cover everything. That's why you should consider a Medicare supplement. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance helps reduce those out-of-pocket costs when you need medical care. And it's guaranteed renewable for life as long as premiums are paid. Call Saganiac Planning today, 262-783-6161. Ask about WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance. The intent of this advertisement is solicitation of insurance. Contact may be made by the insurer or a licensed agent. Neither Wisconsin Physician Service Insurance Corporation nor its agents nor products are connected with the federal Medicare program.
What's up, Prochachos? Ready for an epic Stranger Things watch party?
Grab a tasty slice of Stranger Things Surfer Boy pizza. It's the tubular frozen pizza that tastes like it came straight from Hawkins to your oven.
Whoa, this pie? Totally righteous.
With 4 bodacious flavors, you're sure to find one that totally rocks. Plus, you can collect the wicked limited edition sticker that comes in each box.
Now that my taste buds are upside down, let's get this watch party started.
Stranger Things Surfer Boy pizza. Grab your gang and fuel up for one last adventure.
In season, off season, draft season. Whatever season it is, we are Milwaukee's place to talk green and gold. Listen, watch, or stream live whenever, wherever. 94.5 ESPN. It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, it is Fantasy Football Championship week, and I was just lamenting to Kyle that, of course, the one championship game I'm in is the one that has the least money involved.
Yeah, this is the first time in a lot of years that I'm in 3 leagues, and I'm not part of any conversation.
You're home for Christmas?
I made the playoffs in all 3, and I got put out first round all 3, which is rare. Usually I'm in like a third place game that means I'm in a third place game now, but usually it means something.
Yeah, I'm in a third place game that doesn't mean anything. Like that's for no cash.
So it's a down year.
Do you set your lineup if you're in a 5th place game?
I try to set my lineup regardless, but when the Packers lose the way they do, I just kind of disconnect from everything.
Now,
I have no motivation.
Do you feel a motivation to pick up free agents if you're in a 5th place game or whatever?
No. The season's over. I'm playing for championships. The season's over. Third place game if money's on the line.
Yeah, I think that's right. I still will do it occasionally if I just happen, like if I have someone who's hurt, I don't want to be disrespectful and play no lineup, or whatever, have zeros.
Oh, we compete. We compete.
Team Wallace competes up to the final whistle.
Always. We don't quit. We never quit.
It's interesting that we talk about that because next week there's a chance that every NFL team will know going into week 18 if they're in the playoffs or not. Right now, there's only 2 slots available. The Steelers, with a win, end up taking one of those. The other one is likely to end up as the Sunday night game next week, right? Because it'll probably be the one that's up for grabs, which it's not that juicy because it's the Panthers and the Buccaneers. But assuming...
It's juicy. 2 competitive teams for each other.
Yeah, but I think it's probably the least interesting division in the NFL, if you ask fans. Right? There's probably...
the NFC South gets off of being sucky every year.
The AFC South and the NFC South are both kind of in that.
AFC South this year, you got actually good teams.
Right. And Indianapolis looked good, but it ended up being Houston and Jacksonville that were good.
So what are they going to do? They got a 45-year-old man. They got somebody your age out there.
Right. Totally. George Blanda's age. Right?
Yeah. Back Who threw 30... Do you know he threw the 35 interceptions in the season? Might be more. Did you know that?
I know it's a lot. So if the Panthers win and the Buccaneers lose this week, in a year.
42 interceptions in the season. That's great back then.
Yeah.
He said,
He was a punter also. So he played till he was 48.
Good for him.
So if the Panthers win and the Buccaneers lose, then literally every spot and the Steelers. So if Steelers win, Panthers win, Buccaneers lose, every team will either be in or out of the postseason going into the final week of the season, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because if you add another game to the season,
please don't.
Which will happen. Does that give you more opportunity for more teams to spread out a little bit more, or do you not think that makes that more likely to happen. Probably not that big of a difference.
I feel like usually when we had 17-week seasons, the last game meant something, and now you added an extra playoff team, and I don't know. I think this is unusual. I think adding another game, I don't know if that would change much of anything. I think it's just season by season, just how things shook out. You don't know who's going to win. I mean,
I think the fact that there's separation between the Packers and the rest of the NFC.
Well, it's not.
And
the Vikings are 8-8, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the Packers are 9-6-1.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, they're one game away from if they beat the Packers. Same
It'd be a
number
half
of wins.
game, right? Half game difference, right? So I guess, but in the AFC, the Chargers have the last spot at 11 wins, and then the next team has 8 wins.
Yeah, now there's a gap.
So it would be a shame if either Houston or the Chargers was going home with 11 wins, right? If there are only 6 playoff spots. So I think having that 7th playoff spot makes sense when you look at it.
It definitely does, especially when you're talking about when you have. The AFC doesn't have that like the NFC does this year. We had the poo-poo team, but usually they do. That's what you just alluded to at the AFC South.
Yeah,
team doesn't deserve the seed. That's the next thing they're going to reseed these teams.
I mean, the AFC's poo-poo would be the Steelers, right? If they lose today, but
they have a chance to win. The Steelers have a chance
they
to
go
win
11-6 still. They could still go 11-6. But I mean, that division has been the disappointing division.
Injuries have decimated that.
It's just that the Steelers pulled out, some wins the last few weeks and the last few weeks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that Lions game.
That was impressive. The Lions just fell apart. I don't know what. I guess they revamped the offensive line and figure out the offensive coordinator.
And the Steelers, don't forget, as we look at the Packers getting blown out by Baltimore late in that game, Baltimore, Steelers had to go to Baltimore and win a few weeks ago.
And they did.
So Aaron's had some pretty big wins. So any games that jump out to you today as we look at our Palermo's pick, brought to us by Palermo's, which around the holidays, it's come up big. And Stranger Things series finale coming up on New Year's Eve, right when the Bucks are taking on the Wizards. Stranger Things will be having season 5, episode 8. And it is blasphemous to watch a series-ending show without the epiphanous. I think that's the name. Is that the word? I've never tried to use it.
Don't know.
Something that means by the same name, epiph.
Oh, wow.
I think it's like that. Stranger Things pizza made by our good friends at Palermo's. Make sure to grab that for the final episode. Delicious. The best crust you'll ever have. Kyle, have a game you like today?
The game I do like today, I'm not going to lie to you. I want to see that San Francisco versus Chicago game. That's one that will be interesting. And I want to see how Carolina does hosting Seattle. They're a 7-point underdog.
Yeah, I like Tampa going to Miami and beating them up. That game means something to them. Tampa's been bad.
Miami's played better.
I know. I just think
at Miami,
once they change quarterbacks and all that, I think they're done. I think Tampa, Baker's got to have something in him.
You would think.
Yeah. All right, well, stay healthy, stay together, survive today, thrive tomorrow. Another great year. Appreciate all of our teammates here at GKB, all of our partners who advertise with us, who make this show possible, and most importantly, for you being with us, who watch us, listen to us, follow us on social media, all of that. GKB, Good Karma, Sunday Karma would not be possible without it. Kyle, appreciate you being here another year. Even though you've headed to the big time, you're hosting multiple shows, still here with me on Sundays. Pretty fun. We always remind you to don't settle. And Kyle, guess it is time for the final time in 2025 for you to send us out.
Peace.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and